What is up, everybody? Star Wars Dad back for another video. Today we're going to be looking at Mace Windu Blue. So this deck is definitely a work in progress. I think it's going to adjust as we get more and more into things and how the meta feels and what decks start to, you know, rise to the top, like Jango Red, and you know, see how well Sabine Green does and how much aggro is in here that's a problem. I mean, how good is Count Dooku? Because if Count Dooku is really good, this deck will be amazing. Any deck that plays Bloodsport and Bombing Run is going to do really good against decks like Count Dooku and Rex, because you're just annihilating their board very easily. On top of that, while gaining life and beating them down with really strong units at your end game. What's really great about this deck is using cards like Bloodsport and Bombing Run to finish things off that you've damaged with your units. Typically want to play defense early on, get damage, use Mace Windu's ability when it makes sense. Jedi Lightsaber is really good against your aggro decks, of course, or decks that don't play Waylay. It's really nice that Bombing Run has a really good place in the meta now. And I think I had said this a while back, but that's a card that's going to see a ton of play now, and it just makes so much sense. And it's always been a good card, but it just didn't make as much sense. But now with all these decks that are trying to go wide, Bombing Run is just, it's nuts, and it's a really, really strong removal and board wipe, essentially. And it fits great into Mace Windu's ability. So basically what you're doing is you're just trying to survive until you get to the Mace Windu flip. Mace Windu's flip is like, it's fine. Sometimes it doesn't do anything at all, which doesn't feel great, but it's still a strong unit. It's a 5/8. It's really nice to play red with the Jedis, of course, because you get to play Mace Windu, the unit. You get the Bombing Run and the Bloodsport, the Force Throw synergy with Barriss. You notice that I'm not playing the Mace Windu's lightsaber. Part of that is really just I couldn't find the space for it, and it felt very much like I'd rather have Jedi Lightsaber early on. The Mace Windu lightsaber, I think it's +2/2, but it lets you draw 2 cards when you play it on Mace Windu. But that's like, so that's going to be good against control. But here's the thing: like, you're already drawing cards with Yoda, Obi-Wan, Ki-Adi-Mundi, and Kuiil. So like, there's already a lot of card draw. So you don't necessarily, you're not really gonna get that the synergy of being able to draw cards that often anyways. What's going to end up happening is you're using the +2/+2 on your units early to help you survive to be able to get to the flip turn. So I just felt like Jedi Lightsaber is better because my units are more likely to stay alive, and it's just really, really good against aggro. And I would say aggro is more of our weaknesses. Like I said, being green type of deck, where they're just pushing damage every turn, and we're just, you know, trying to slow them down as much as possible. In the testing today, you'll notice that I did not use Captain Typho. So that was a card that was not in the original list. I had Open Fire in here. So I adjusted the sideboard a little bit after testing, because I felt like that was the one thing that was missing, was just having the ability to make different things a Sentinel and have an early Sentinel in the game. You could probably do Village Protector as well, but I like Typho because of its ability to switch Sentinels. It does have, you know, 4 toughness, so if I'm able to keep it alive or put a lightsaber on it, it has 7 toughness. Village Protector is definitely an option too. I think it deserves more testing in which one is better. I mean, you know, Village Protector is obviously going to be able to take 2 hits, so it might just be that that's the right choice. So, you know, kind of talking it out right now, I feel like the Village Protector is probably the better choice, actually. So I'm going to go ahead and make that switch. Yeah, so I mean, it makes a little more sense. They have to have Saboteur to be able to take out Village Protector right away. But I mean, I could see Typho being fine in that spot too. just because of the ability to switch sentinels. I think that's pretty cool. But let's kind of get into the list. So, we're definitely doing the turn 1 Barriss, trying to pull off the Force Throw, if possible. That can obviously be really cool, just to kind of set your opponent back. Most of the time, I'm wanting my opponent to discard a card, and I'm taking my chances on how much damage it's going to do. But sometimes I'll discard one of my big units that's in my hand just to take out a threat to maximize Force Throw's ability. But it really just depends on what's going on in the game. If it makes more sense to wreck their hand, or if it makes more sense to just kill the unit. It depends on the game state. We do have a couple of pillage in the sideboard for more discard synergies. We also have the turn 1 Mystic Reflection with Barriss, which is really nice when you pull that off as well. Mystic Reflection also fits nicely with what we're doing in here, where we're just damaging everything. We're using spread damage with Bloodsport and Bombing Run, so Mystic Reflection can finish things off easily when we have a bunch of Force units in the deck. Just playing 2 Guardian of the Whills. It was originally a 3, but I dropped it down to 2 just because I wanted to fit in a Sentinel, and that was one of the cards that I had to drop. But it's nice to be able to play the Jedi Lightsaber at 2 on turn 2, and then a Force Throw right after that, if you're able to keep it alive. It can be a really good defender against your opponents. I mean, Barriss can too with the Jedi Lightsaber. Both of those cards are great Jedi Lightsaber targets on turn 2. 3 Green Squadron, just as an early space unit, also to kind of help us to put pressure on our opponent and deal with threats in space to slow things down. 3 Kuiil. Obviously, we're going to be drawing a lot of cards in here. There's not too many red cards, so most of the time we're going to be drawing a card. And then just that subtle life gain. Kuiil is also just not a bad Jedi Lightsaber target, becoming a 5/6, which can kill things like Sabine. 3 Yoda, of course, for its restore and its card draw effects. Obviously it's synergy with Force Throw and Jedi Lightsaber, and the Force is with me. 3 Concord Dawn, again, just to have a couple Sentinels in space to slow things down for more space-heavy decks. We do have pretty good answers for things in space. We'll bring in like Open Fire from the side. We have Razor Crest as well. We have Green Squadron. We have Redemption for bigger stuff. So, I mean, we have ways to deal with things. We even have Forces with me if we needed to use that. And then the 3 Village Protectors that we've been talking about. Having that early Sentinel on the ground, I think, is pretty important for this deck against the super aggro decks. Then there's the 3 Bloodsport. We have 2 in the main, 1 on the side. We're bringing that in against decks that go wide, droid decks, clone decks, bringing in the 3rd copy. It's going to be good against everything because of Mace Windu's ability. Depending on how big the units are that we're playing against and how much it matters early on, it depends on whether we're bringing in more bombing runs or Bloodsports or vice versa. But it's been really fun playing those cards alongside Mace Windu's ability and just being able to spread damage and finish things off. 3 Kanan Jarrus, of course, for more Force synergy, subtle life gain, and the discard effects to go with our Force Throw and our Pillage. One card that you could argue that could be in here is K2SO. I think it could be a consideration as a sideboard card. That's just more discard effects because it is so good against control. I guess it depends on how much you're struggling against control when you test this deck out more. 2 Forces with me, again, for all the Force synergy as a removal spell or a way to close out the game. 1 Razor Crest in the main to get our lightsabers back and to gain life, and just a good unit with good stats, so 3/4, and then a 2nd copy of Razor Crest in the sideboard for the same reason. We're bringing that 2nd copy in against more aggressive decks. 2 Fell the Dragon in the main, 1 in the side for decks that have a lot of bigger units or decks that are beefing up their units with lightsabers and dark sabers and fallen lightsabers and general blades and all that stuff, or just big units in general. Fell the Dragon's just going to be incredibly important. It may end up being 3 Fell the Dragon on the main board, depending on how things go in set 3. 2 Bombing Run, of course, 1 in the side, 2 in the main. Great thing about Bomber Run, of course, is that we can hit space as well, so that's really nice. And then we have a lot of units that have a lot of beefier stats. So most of the time our units will survive, minus like the top row. Yeah, but everything else survives if it hasn't been damaged. Ki-Adi-Mundi we're playing 3 of. We're not playing any Anakin. Anakin just feels very underwhelming to me. A lot of times you don't have the 3 units. You know, we're not playing ECL where we can ambush it in, so I want to have the unit that has a little more HP, it's harder to kill, and then it has the static ability once we do have 3 units out to draw 2 cards and gets us card advantage. Anakin draws us a card when we have 3 units out on attack, but Ki-Adi-Mundi is just better, in my opinion, on many levels. So Anakin didn't make the cut for me personally. 3 Obi-Wan, of course. Obi-Wan is just so much better this set. If you're planning on playing any Force decks and you don't have 3 copies of Obi-Wan, I would go ahead and get that now, because I'm sure that, I mean, I know that there's supposed to be a reprint soon, so maybe you could wait for that, but I know that that card's going to be sought after heavily because there's so many good Force decks now this set, and Obi-Wan just gets so much better because it's a great Sentinel, and then you're always, you know, you're getting 2 experience to one of your units, and it can be any unit, and then if it's a Force unit, then you get to draw a card. So you're drawing cards a lot of the time when it dies too. It's just so much fun when it dies. You're like, okay, I'll beef up this other unit +2/+2, and I'll draw a card. Thank you. So it's just a really great card. 3 Luke Skywalker, of course, as one of our closers. You know, the good thing about this deck too, as far as closers, is like we do have the ability to go, you know, to push pressure pretty early. Our Jedi lightsabers really do help beef up a lot of our cheaper units to put steady pressure on our opponent, as well as take out threats. But Luke Skywalker is definitely one of our finishers, and definitely, you know, because of Mace Windu's ability, even its -3/3, if nothing on our side dies, is really nice, because it comes out on the same turn as Mace Windu, of course. So Luke is just incredible. It's another card that I would say, you know, I guess you have to wait for the reprint because that card is still pretty pricey. But again, it's still going to be heavily sought after. So, I mean, the price is, as far as I know, it's the lowest it's been. I haven't checked in the last couple of days, but I think it was around $40. So, or maybe even a little bit less than that. So that's definitely one I would grab as well if you're planning on playing Force decks. Just makes the deck so much better. A couple Mace Windu. The unit, which is a lot of fun. I haven't really played that card too much in previous sets and too many decks. It's been here and there. I played it a little bit in Young Han Blue. It feels good in here. Again, I'm not playing the Mace Windu's lightsaber. The Jedi lightsaber is just so much better. I mean, the Jedi lightsaber is still $5 a pop, I think. So, and I don't know. It's just crazy that that card's still that expensive. And then 1 redemption in the main, just kind of as our life gain savior if we're needing that 8 HP. It's also just an incredible Sentinel. Redemption's such a good card. And it's also a great finisher, just a 6 powered unit in space. Like, it's crazy good. And the fact that you can heal your units is really nice too, because you are attacking in with your own units and you are damaging your own units sometimes with Bombing Run and Bloodsport. So that part of its ability gets used a little bit more with this particular list. And then in the sideboard, of course, the 3rd copy of Bloodsport for those droid and clone decks, just to kind of wipe those out immediately. 2 open fires are going to be for more aggro decks and space heavy decks. 2nd copy of Razor Crest is going to be for aggro, because we're going to try to get those Jedi lightsabers back and use its restore ability. 3rd copy of Fell of the Dragon, of course, for decks that have bigger units or have a lot of lightsaber or upgrade attachments to make their units stronger and bigger. 2 Pillage is going to come in for more control mid-range decks for our discard synergy. When we're bringing in Pillage, we're probably going to be taking out Jedi lightsaber. Like, easy switch, take out at least 2 Jedi lightsabers for the 2 Pillage, depending on what we're playing against, because Jedi lightsaber is going to be less effective against control and less effective against decks that have waylay effects. 3rd copy of Bombing Run, of course, is going to be against droid and clone decks, or just decks that go wide in general, or just decks that are heavy in space because we don't have as many answers in space. 1 copy of Rival's Fall for decks where we're a little more worried about the leader. That might need to be a 2nd copy. It was originally, but I had to kind of maneuver things around. I think there's 1 card I would change it would possibly be to fit the second Rival's Fall, possibly the second Razor Crest. I hate to do that, but I would say it really depends on how things shape up. But it could be a need for that second copy of Rival's Fall when, you know, forces with me and Jedi Lightsaber aren't able to handle the units, especially if the units are in space. So, you know, Fel the Dragon's there, but we want to have an additional way to deal with those. Again, we're just going to be using Force Table until things get straightened out on Carabast. So we're just going to be showing how the deck works and some different play patterns and things that you can try to do. As always, please like and subscribe if you enjoy my content. Make sure to go to the community page and write down what your favorite deck to play is right now in set 3 on the 3,000 subscriber giveaway. I greatly appreciate all the love and support. I'll definitely be giving away the 3 cards to 3 lucky winners once I hit 3,000, which we're almost at 2,700. But I will also give away some other cards, just extra cards that I have from the boxes that I've opened so far for set 3, and I'm sure I'll open a few more. I'm not sure if I'll do it before the giveaway or not, but it'll be close to around that time. But you know, definitely if you're one of the winners, let me know some other things that you're interested in. But let's get into some games on Force Table so I can kind of show you how this... Alright, up against an updated Sabine green list here. We do have the Barriss Force Throw on turn 1, so we're going to keep this hand and then go either into Kuiil or Concord Dawn or Yoda on turn 2. Let Luke go and... It's tough. I guess Yoda, just to be diverse with our units a little bit. Okay. So we can definitely... Ooh, that's a pretty good one. Because we have Buku's a removal, I am... Never mind. This is already not feeling great by any means. Redemption's is feeling pretty necessary. Definitely gonna keep messing with their hand size. Putting the lightsaber on Kuiil allows us to kill Sabine, which is pretty sweet. Keep messing with their hand. Attack trigger, sure. Sure. Play Ki-Adi-Mundi next turn, which is good. I mean, we are definitely getting closer to all these cards being relevant, so I'm going to keep all of them at this point. And keep just using this to draw cards and gain subtle life. It's not exactly a card that I'm that thrilled about getting, but I'd say we're in pretty good shape because of where we are at with our damage. That's not fun. 6 resources on Bloodsport plus attack allows us to kill things. So let's go there. Ouch. That's definitely the best card they could have found. For sure. There's Obi-Wan. I mean, that we have to kill fighters. Ouch. Okay. This has only got 1 life left, so kill that. Can we survive? I think so, because we have redemption. Let's say getting these out is good. Just to kind of slowly turn our life total around. And, I mean, that was pretty nice. That's definitely a card that finishes them off, and then we have all the things that we need. Jane Urso's not going to do it. Jedi Lightsaber definitely does it. God, I love the app. And then we gain some life just for fun. Yeah, but I mean, it definitely struggles like with that. That's definitely what I would say is my knock on this deck. Like the thing that I don't like about it is it has a hard time with really aggressive decks early on. Like, and maybe it needs more Sentinels than I have in here. That's possibly the case. But it's either Sentinels or life gain units. So I guess Sentinels, like Captain Typho or whatever his name is, might be a good idea. Let's try one more. Again. Okay, now I like this hand, so we're gonna let go of that and that. We're gonna go Guardian it into Jedi Lightsaber into Force Throw. If they don't kill Guardian immediately, okay. So that's good. So this honestly seems like this game is gonna go pretty well. I mean, getting the lightsaber out on Guardian is always gonna feel good. And then we can play Force Throw. Just start messing with their hand. Okay, whatever. I mean, it's still a great card for them, so even if we don't get in for damage on the green A-Wing, we're still getting rid of cards from their hand. I'd say Bombing Run is looking pretty nice right about now. In space. So we can play Kanan. We're just gonna wait. Take our damage and wait. Wait for the Sabine flip if the computer decides to. A lot of times normal people will not because they know it's immediately gonna die, but hey. We do what we can, right? So we're gonna Bombing Run. I like having the Kuiil. Go ahead and Bombing Run space. So glad this card's finally relevant in multiple ways. Okay, we're gonna have to swing into that. Yeah, I believe it'll still die, but yeah, we will lose our boy, but he did so much work. And I think we're in a good spot now. They have not ECL'd. We're definitely playing Obi-Wan here. I'd say Bloodsport's more valuable at this point. Okay. Yeah, Obi-Wan just shuts that down. Haven't really needed to use Mace Windu's ability yet. And I'm just going to keep the pressure on them. And I really just haven't had an opportunity to use it, right? Like, it's just been... We've been pretty busy. Force Throw is good. I guess we're going to let go Yeah, I'd rather get Yoda down just to establish a little more life gain, just in case, because they have not ECL'd yet. Let's go ahead and attack him with Obi-Wan, and that should be able to close the game out. Red 3's not gonna do it. Alright, force throw. Opponent. Got rid of another medal ceremony. So we'll just do this. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, the Mace Windu flip turn is extremely strong. But there wasn't any damaged units, so what are you going to do, right? So that's what our final board state looked like. So that game went a little better. Just because of the Guardian with the Jedi lightsaber. So, you know, Barriss or Guardian, I mean, they killed Barriss game 1 with the ECL Fleet Lieutenant, which was smart. But second game, they weren't able to do that. So, you know, you can see how impactful Jedi lightsaber is against them. It's our best weapon. Force throw is really good too. But you see how, like, I'm not trying to discard my own cards a lot of times unless I'm, like, using, like, discarding a redemption to kill something with Dark Saber, for example, would be, like, an ideal situation where I would use it. But that one went a lot better, so. But again, didn't use the ability that much. Used it a little bit, but not much. I mean, you're just trying to keep pace with them, so you want to try to hold the initiative so that you can slow them down a little bit better, you know? And be able to attack into their units when need be, especially if you have a Jedi lightsaber unit. Like, that's, you want to be able to attack instead of them attacking you, so that you could benefit off it and keep it alive as long as possible. Alright, up against Dooku here. I think we have a pretty good matchup because we have Bloodsport and Bombing Run. No mulligan. I hate to get rid of these expensive cards. But I want to just put as much pressure on them as we can. Why do they keep doing that? Yeah, Bloodsport doesn't do a lot for that. But I mean, it is our best play this turn. There's a lot of cards here I really don't want to get rid of. I think I'm going to get rid of Forces with me, since we don't have the best thing going on there. Let's go Force Throw here, and then we'll play Bloodsport next turn. They do have, like, they do suffer the problem of, why did they attack in with Poggle? That makes zero sense. I don't know. We could play Bloodsport Barriss, or we could play Bloodsport Mace Windu and start to kill Poggle. I hate to not get any value off this, but it seems like AI is not using Poggle for the only reason that you should use it, which is its ability. Oh, AI. Oh, AI. Why do they keep attacking with that card? Okay, there's some reason to use it now. So let's just play Bloodsport. Get some value out of that card. Let's use our action ability, and not too worried about that. Alright. Yeah, I'd rather have open fire. Ouch. Well. Bye-bye. And do we really care about 1 damage? No, but I mean, the way they're playing that card, absolutely not. I really wish that AI played this deck better, because this deck is really good. It's just kind of like, it's frustrating. That is such a good card against them. So is this. All these cards are great. Decisions, 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 decisions. Let's go Obi-Wan into Mace Windu into Luke Skywalker. Okay. I kept bombing run, so that was smart. Yeah, I mean, okay. Either way, like, we were gonna have a good matchup against them, but it'd be nice to have an actual challenging matchup. Yeah, that's fine. Let's play that. Okay. Yeah. Let's just go ahead and deploy this leader, just because we want Obi-Wan's stuff to go onto our boy, and then we're gonna force throw and kill Dooku. That was a very good kill. Don't think we need Kuiil anymore. It's either Luke. They are just giving up here, it looks like. Okay. Alrighty then. Maybe they had... Oh yeah, they had nothing to do, okay. Yeah, it was such a disappointing example game. It's so frustrating, because I bet you on the flip side, if I play this Count Dooku deck against Mace Windu, yeah, I mean, they definitely have Bloodsport and Bombing Run, which is hard to deal with. But I still think that there's some really cool lines of play. I mean, you try to keep this alive as long as possible to just get as many droids out so that you can cheat out one of these big things, and then it's going to be really hard for me to overcome, especially if you cheat it out like this. Malevolence or a Sentinel into a barrage. But again, you're just kind of seeing how this deck works. Okay, up against a version of Jango Red. Still working on that list though, so it's definitely not as honed in as I would like it to be. It's the next deck I'm going to work on. We have Barriss and a Mystic Reflection. That seems pretty good. Barriss will die. That they do when they play a unit though. I like Bloodsport. I like Ki-Adi-Mundi. I do think Conquer Dawn is probably important because they have a decent amount of space units. It's a weird one. I mean, do we want to risk it all for Barriss Mystic Reflection? This is hard. Let's just let the Bloodsport go, unfortunately. Well, I mean, at least we can kill kill this thing immediately. Yep. Okay. Alrighty then. And we'll just... I'd say we'll just go ahead and open fire that. Kuiil's not bad, but I'd say Force Throw Conquer Dawn is more important. Ouch. Thanks. I guess I'll just take a Kuiil then. Let's get that down. Okay. Alrighty then. What? Oh, Tarkintown. Gotcha. Nice. Just get the big boy down. Okay. So far so good. We haven't taken that much damage. That has 7. Ouch. Obi-Wan's pretty good. Kinda want another one of those. I'm gonna attack him with this first at 5 and attack into Jango. Okay. Just drop Obi-Wan. Okay. Sure. Take the initiative again. Okay, Obi-Wan dies. Put the counters on Ki-Adi-Mundi. Take 1. Okay, these are all good. So we're gonna go ahead and just flip just to kill Jango. Does it kill? Yes, it does. Kills Jango. Take our 1. Swing in. And swing in. Okay. Is there anything we want to kill right off the gate here? Or do you want to play Yoda and Razor Crest? I mean, let's just wait till they have something in their hand. There's a good card. 3/3/3. It's pretty good. Does some work for sure. Let's just keep all these cards. Okay. Sure. Okay, he exhausted me, which is cool. And my thoughts are just to attack in for damage first. Okay. He's at 1 resource. He's swinging it for 5. Just go face here, gain a little bit of life. Okay, and then we're just gonna bombing run their side, or the whole side, I guess. Okay. Let's just go force throw opponent for 3. Attack in. And I'd say we're in pretty good shape. I don't think we need the A-Wing. Okay. Sure. Well, that's the game. So we can Mystic Reflection Jedi Lightsaber or just attack in for 5. Let's just do this for fun. Okay. So they got in for 6. Okay. Cool. And get as much damage on their base as we possibly can just for the fun of it. Yeah, so I mean, I went fine. I guess the turn 1 Mystic Reflection thing was fine because we were able to just take out the Greedo immediately. Bombing Run and Bloodsport continue to be amazing, especially in here because you're always threatening to kill things, and like I think in this particular case, just attacking in with Ki-Adi-Mundi into Jango and then Bombing Run, or flipping, just deploying Mace Windu to kill it was nice. But yeah, this deck's really interesting. I'm going to be working on a more optimal list. This is just a starter list that I saw that had performed okay. But going to be looking at a couple of lists that have been doing pretty well and kind of come up with my own thing here soon. But I do think it's a cool concept. But mine is a little different. I'm going to be using the flamethrower on the ground because of your ability to spread out 3 damage. So if Jango Fett is active, you can exhaust 3 units. It's kind of similar to the idea of the Fallen Lightsaber version, but I like that the flamethrower isn't reliant on the unit being a force unit, and that the flamethrower just fits in nicely because any ground unit can do that. So it allows you to make any ground unit have the capabilities of exhausting 3 units in a turn when Jango's deployed. But we'll see. I got a lot of work to do on that list. It's going to be a work in progress. Alright, I'm up against Quinlan Boss Blue. I'm going to let Kuiil and Barriss go. A lot of cheap stuff here. Guess we're hoping that they don't have the lightsaber, because that's going to hurt. No, that deck. I want to be more on the ground. Okay, they don't have it. So we're actually going to just kill this so that they can't do that. Now there are 2 of them. Draw a card. Yoda's a good card to play this turn. Okay, Falcon is fine. We do have a Concord Dawn if we need to. Force Throw's good. Especially because we can probably get rid of something. We can get rid of one of these Obi-Wans with Force Throw to kill Falcon. I think that's fine. Okay. Go ahead and draw another card with Kuiil. And then heal some more with Yoda. I like the idea of going into Yoda. And doing that. And might as well, right? Just get a fresh Kuiil down. There's a lightsaber. I do like all these options. We could go Ki-Adi-Mundi into Obi-Wan into Mace Windu into Redemption, which is a pretty sweet curve. Also could just Jedi lightsaber and just start wrecking things. Problem is Yoda already has 3 damage, but it's only going to take 1 more damage from Quinlan Voss. This is tough. This is the Quinlan flip turn, that's the card we want to kill immediately. Yoda will have 5 power, be able to immediately kill Quinlan on its flip. We can do 1 damage with Mace Windu's ability to delay our actions for the flip. Do we really need Redemption? I don't want to get rid of it because oh goodness gracious, that takes the entire plan and throws it out the window. Because we didn't have... Yep. Nope. Alright, well, let's at least do that. Okay. At least we got it off the field. So Quinlan will be out here, but we do have Obi-Wan. Okay, that was just such a... No, we're not playing Mystic Reflection right now. Taker 3. It's been an interesting game so far. Obi-Wan's coming down. What card is the least important card? So we're going Obi-Wan to Mace into Redemption right now. I would say Mystic Reflection, just because it's not a guaranteed thing. Ouch. especially with the shield. Okay. Yeah, sure. Okay. Don't need Barriss anymore. It's a 5/9 now. Guess with both of these we can kill it. Just get it off the board. Okay. Just get our boy out. Yeah, that gives them card advantage, so we want to get rid of that. Not worried about our life total, we have redemption. Just sitting here waiting in the wings. Another mace is good. Okay. Could open fire that too. Which isn't bad. Especially... Okay. Yeah, we could just open fire, play... like a Kanan. Like Conqueror Dawn is not a bad idea. Conqueror Dawn plus Guardian. Or I could play Razor Crest and get back a lightsaber, which is a good idea. Seems pretty sweet. Going face, or are we just killing Ezra? I'd say let's just kill Ezra. We have so much card advantage right now because of Kuiil doing work early on. Luke is good. I'm gonna hold on to Guardian because it allows us to cheat out the lightsaber on it if we need to for 2 cost. Let's go here. They do have Plo Koon that they could play, okay. Could play Redemption. And gain 3 life, maybe? Yeah, I'm okay with 3. Just gonna pass on that. Again, I'm just gonna kill Ezra. I just want to take away all their threats because we are at such an advantage with cards. So there any of these cards that we don't get? Okay, we can let Guardian go now to get up to 10. Okay, well that dies. Alright, so now we're gonna swing in for 6. Okay, another Ezra. It's fine. Just kill that with Mace Windu. Well, never mind. It's a 6/7 now. But we can kill it with this. And then play this. Ooh, so many good cards. I think it's a good stopping point. Ouch. Another one. 6 cost. Good. Actually, we're gonna go there so we can go wide. And we are turning the corner. Another. We have all 3 lightsabers in our hand. Is there anything we want to let go of? Not really. Okay, another card. At this point, though. Okay. Well, that's nice. That was nice. Let's just... Okay. Yep. Just go lightsaber. Lightsaber. We're swinging it for what? 7 there? Okay. And for game. Yeah, so I mean, again, just testing out how this deck feels against, you know, just kind of the play patterns and different things. Felt pretty good. I think aggro is going to be tough. Obviously, we're good against droid and clone decks because we have bombing run and bloodsport. So, you know, in that way, we kind of have some control built in. We have Mace Windu's ability to randomly do damage. And then we have our Force Synergy to kind of switch things up. I mean, it was a lot of fun. It's different, you know, different take, playing red, playing Mace Windu. I didn't use Mace Windu's lightsaber. I mean, that's... You could put that in here, I think, for those control matchups. I think it's good just to draw 2 cards on your maces. I chose to go a little heavier in space and have some Sentinels. I do think one change that possibly needs to happen is to have a Sentinel on 3, like the Captain Typho, but I don't know. Overall, it felt pretty good, but I could see that card... I mean, I like that card allows you to change to Sentinel every turn. So that's probably the card I would choose to put in here if I was going to take something out.